Hello guys, welcome back. This is csecnow and I'm going through the social study. It's January 2024 past paper 2, but this will be a reviewed for June 2024 paper 2. Alright, so make sure you guys do drop a like and subscribe if you haven't do so. Before I do go ahead and proceed, guys, can you please leave a comment in the comment section? Let me know which country and which school you're currently attending. Alright, so that will give me a better audience as to know how much I should post and to know the Caribbean region you are from. Alright, nevertheless said, so guys, we are seeing the graph here is from 2019 to 2023. So they said study the graph below and answer the questions. So we left off as here where it says calculate the change in the size of the population between 2020 and 2022. Alright, so we are seeing 2020. We just go ahead. So from 2020, that would be 395 in the population, right? So that's 395,000. And it says from 2020 to 2022. So 2022 here we'd have 410. Alright, so that's 410,000. Good. Alright, and they say we must calculate between. So it's from 2020. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, good. So from where we seen from 2020 was 395. So 395 to a 400 here would be 10,000. And from 400 to 405 we have, let me see here, so 395 to 400 would be 10,000, so we'd have 20,000 here. Alright, so let me just go ahead and see how best I could calculate the options here, and let me just go ahead. Alright, so we're just gonna calculate in total here, so let me just go ahead and calculate. Alright, good. So where I'm seeing here, we'd have 395 to 410. So if we take away 395 from 410, that would be a negative 15, right? Alright, so if we're going to calculate from the other way around, so let me just cross out this. So if this be from 410, sorry. So we're going to 410, take away 395. Alright, so we would get 15. Alright, so let me just check back the graph here and see what's going on. So 5 here, this would be 5. 5, this would be an next 10. 15. So here we'd basically have 15,000 in population here, right? So 1, 2, 3. Alright, so that would be 15,000 in population. So the answer would be 15,000 in population, guys. If you have, this is a simple question, it doesn't require much, just study the graph and try calculate. If you have any different answer, guys, please make sure to leave it in the comment section. Alright, we're moving along. Number 3 here, it says state one factor other than birth rate that would cause the decrease or increase in the size of population. So the factor would be the availability of family planning. So this is how the factor would decrease or increase the size of his population. So here the main concern would be increase. So the availability of family planning would increase. The availability of contraception enables women to limit the family size closer to their desired level. Alright, so this question would basically give you 1 marks. So as I mentioned, just explain, give the factor, state the factor that they ask, and give an explanation as in regards either it increases or it decreases. Alright, it's not to mention that your answer is not totally right from mine, but I'm just choosing the best answer that follows on my hand here. Alright, so the answer could be something else different from birth rate, but here would be family planning. Alright, good. Moving along. So here we are seeing where it says the development of a human resource in school should include the use of technology. Alright, so we are seeing now in the modern days where technology is being advanced to the highest level. Alright, so they are saying such as 3 actions that governments may implement in school to prepare students to function in the technological age. This question requires 6 marks that they would have marked you for on the paper 2 here. Alright, so 3 actions would be distance learning. How distance learning would come in place? For example, when we are having like Zoom classes, alright, the technology would come in place where you could use your technology as a higher advantages. And alright, so this would be another actions as well. Collaborations, meeting the students and the teacher collaborating together. For example, sending informations on, like, give them assignments also. Let them use the internet to their highest technological aspects. Alright, and glamifying lessons would mean using technological aspects of, for example, games such as learning games for younger kids in their advanced level, just to take made the technology use as a higher level to their advantages in educational purposes. Alright, so not to abuse the educational level in where we are using technology to decrease the value of learning. It's not so forth as if you would meant in a way we are trying to degrade technology. Alright, but using the technology in a wise way, it could give you more accessibility than even books. For example, you could use the Google to research, do your research, do your SBAs, assignments, and so forth. Alright, so the action will be glamifying lessons. So let me just go expand on these questions. Alright, as I mentioned before, guys, your answer doesn't has to be as mine as I selected on the paper here. It could be different. So if you have any other answers, you need any concerns, feel free to leave it in the comment section. Alright, explanation 1 here, it says glamifying lessons are engaging students using games, learning games, especially for younger students, to help keep them engaged. Alright, just as we have I think it's been recently, we have their app that they are announcing that you can use it as for maths, right, where you can use it for mathematical questions, where it shows other equations, how to solve those equations. Those are games, but it's for educational purposes. So these are for like younger students, I would say, engaging like primary students. Remember, not every student can learn by just listening. Alright, so you had visual learner and alright, so just moving on, guys. Here we are seeing where we have this regional integration. Alright, so where we have this integration, regional, where it says write an essay on the topic above in your essay. You must choose one of these topics. Alright, good. So it says state the difference between bilateral and multilateral agreements. Alright, good. So in your essay, you must state the difference between bilateral and multilateral agreements, 2 factors that may hinder the regional integration, outline 2 benefits of the regional integration to Caribbean countries. Alright, good. So here, guys, we are seeing as if we are seeing what is the meaning between bilateral and multilateral agreements. So bilateral and multilateral agreements are types of trade agreement between countries, I would say. Bilateral agreements involve two countries, while multilateral agreements involves 2 or 3 countries, right? Bilateral agreements are faster and easier to negotiate, but multilateral agreements give more benefits and opportunities for trade markets, and both types of agreements aims to reduce the barrier and increase economic cooperation. So that is how bilateral and multilateral came in place, guys. Alright, so if they are aiming for more than one country, this is how they could target, I would say, the economic cooperation. Alright, so where it comes between bilateral and multilateral, they may try to show where they want to find which one of these agreements would be better. Alright, good. So here another question who says state 2 factors that may hinder regional integration. 2 factors that may hinder integration. So one factor here, I should have wrote this on the paper, but let me just say it out loud. Alright, so one factor would be the absence of a common strategy for development. Alright, and that simple meaning for a common strategy for development, if there's no development for regional integration, we would not have a good integration in the Caribbean region. So one factor that would hinder the regional integration would be absence of common strategy for development. And another one I could use off my fingertips would be competition from location or industries. So if we are having a competition and integration in the Caribbean, more than likely we would have to see where the integration regional leading into the country, in the Caribbean countries. Alright, good. So here it says outline 2 benefits of regional integration, right? So regional integration, guys, as I mentioned, it's all basically we have to do with I would say the stability between members of the country. Alright, so 2 benefits of the regional integration, we could use. One could be peace. Alright, so having the regional integration is having the country, I would say, let's put it in this way. We are having the health of the region's economic scale bargaining power on a global stage. So we are just like empowering the country to, I would say, just to make like a connection together, right? So it would bring peace. So one benefit of the regional integration to the Caribbean would be bring peace. So it will lead to peace. So that would be the grouping leads to peace and stability between the members of the countries. So it provide them with a greater visibility and weight internationally as they face the world as one than speak, negotiating as separating the weaker voice. So that would be, joining the Caribbean country. And this question says suggest 3 actions that the individual citizens of the Caribbean may take to support. So they're asking 3, let me just read back this over, 3 actions. Hold up just a moment. 3 actions individual take to support regional integration. Hold up. All right, so 3 actions they can take to I would say citizens of the Caribbean may take to support the regional to support regional integration would be identifying the objective and scopes. So identifying how regional integration helps, what's the objective, what's and how they can scope on it. Another one would be in developing the strategy and plan, an action plan. Alright, so simple meaning developing the strategy. How well does the integration, the regional integration, benefits the country, I would say, in a meaning. And once they find out how the integration, regional integration benefits the country, then they could know how they can develop the strategies and action plans towards the regional integration. Alright, as I mentioned, guys, you can choose different answer. It doesn't have to be the same answer as mine. Alright, and another action would be evaluate and learn from the outcomes. So what would be the outcomes of the regional integration? Learn from them, evaluate, and also learn from the outcomes as I mentioned. Alright, so those would be 3 actions individual of the Caribbean countries may take to support the regional integration. Alright, good. Let me see here. Alright, so these questions to explain why each action may be likely to successful. So if we are gonna go ahead and to choose one of the answer that I chose before, so if we are going to say identifying the objective and scope, identifying the objective and scope, we would see how best regional integration would best helps the country in a way. Alright, how? Like for example, we are seeing where we share natural resources, such as security, education, how that benefits. Alright, and then we could also see how best it's successful. So if we are seeing where the regional integration successful, where they share natural resources such as security, education, then expanded on the information, how does security helps, how does education helps, and so forth. Alright, guys, I think the rest of the questions will be the same. They only told you to choose one, but let me just go ahead and see here. But going down to section B. Alright, it says choose one from this section, so we just only choose one here, and this one has to do with communication. So they are saying here, guys, write an essay on the topic above which you, alright, so that would be communication. So define the term communication. So communication is the exchange of information using symbol, signs, or behaviors. Alright, so that would be the definition of communication. They also state 2 forms of communication used in the Caribbean. Alright, so 2 forms of communication used in the Caribbean would be verbal. So we have verbal communication where we have examples, books, songs, or drama. Then we have another communication which is non-verbal communication. Those non-verbal communication are communications such as gestures, facial expression. So that would be facial expression, screams, signs, language. Alright, so those are types of communication that doesn't use I would say words or sounds. Alright, this is just signs. Good. So facial expression. Seeing your facial expression, I could know what you're thinking or know what you're all about. Alright, sign language. For persons that who are dumb, they cannot speak, so they use sign language. Good? Hope you understand. Here they are saying to outline 2 ways in which geographical factors can affect communication in the Caribbean. So when they are mentioned about geographical factors can refers to what affecting. So it's what affecting the Caribbean. Alright, so so here they're talking about geographical factors. So geographical factors, it refers to, like, for example, rivers, mountain, climate, and the natural resource of a region. Alright, so that's what they are mentioning about. So if we are referring to geographical factors that can affect communication in the Caribbean, we refer as distance. And distance would be in the location. Alright, different location, like for example England. So for example in the UK, which is England, right, we have different zones, right, different zones, and that would partially the factors that can affect communication in the Caribbean, but they are mentioning about the Caribbean, so we use distance. Alright, another thing again, climates, different type of climates. So that is another geographical factors that can affect communication in the Caribbean. Sorry. This one says suggest 3 measures that government in the Caribbean may take to ensure that media house publish accurate information. Alright, so for news, entertainment, and review team that broadcast news, how can we know they are publishing accurate information? How can the government knows, or what can the government put in place to ensure that the media house publish accurate information? Alright, so they could confirm information. How? Look for actual source. Like for example, a crime was committed and it happened on this day when, and they publish it on news. Government would like what the government could do to ensure that media is publishing the accurate information is to have, for example, the police actually source the actual source of the information, and to ensure that information is accurate before it hit the public, and also use multiple outlets. Alright, and they ask for 3 measures. And also, for example, if there's something that happened internationally, like for example internationally news, and we want to know, it could be given a false or a misinterpretation of news, carrying the news in a wrong way. What the government could also do is also look for sources, not just internal, which is inside of the country, but outside of the country also, to ensure that the news is accurate and it's convenient to the audience that are listening. Alright, so that would be 1. So guys, ending the video here. So this would be the end of part 2. Here they're just asking to explain why each measure is likely to successful. As I mentioned, guys, we'd have to just expand on any one of these that I output here. It doesn't really matter. As I mentioned, guys, your answer don't has to be mine don't has to be you. It's once the answer that you're giving matching the questions that they're asking. Alright, and ensure you give examples, guys. Alright, and state it in a very distant way. So as I mentioned, guys, this is the end of part 2. Make sure you guys do drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't do so. Please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. Type kudos if you reach the end of this video, so I could know who watched the video until the end. And you do have yourself a great day or night. I think this video is basically in a night. And good luck on your exams. I would say letting your grade 1 become a reality, guys. And as your information, this paper would not be on 2024 May/June past paper. Alright, guys, these questions would be similar. They may change the paper 2, but paper 1 will always repeat. So always remember, guys, to study on a broad niche when you're going into the exam. Go into the exam with an open mind, guys, not a closed mind, to know that your exam will be on one topics. They may throw out different topics, so have an open mind of every topics, guys. Read as much and go through, and you do have yourself a great one, and letting your grade 1 become a reality, and keep safe. Thank you for watching.